All right, you guys, it's time. Let's begin. So, as you can see, I'm sitting on the floor, and sometimes this feels comfortable for me and sometimes it doesn't. If you're not comfortable on the floor, I'm actually sitting on a big pillow. And the main thing is that for this practice today, I want you to be in a position that's comfortable. We will be doing a lot of the practice lying down, so you can be on the floor. I have a yoga mat rolled out, and if getting up and down off the floor is a challenge for you, then I would encourage you to be on your couch or on a bed. From LA, low back injuries, my chronic pain most. Okay, okay, thank you, Rebecca, for letting me know. Welcome. So you've all been typing in, people are coming from far and wide, and I welcome you here today. This is a workshop for chronic pain. I have, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Jackie Rosenheim. I am the founder of my little business that I call Align Yoga Therapy. And the reason that I call the name of my business Align is because the practice of yoga, the work that I do, is not just a physical practice, and it doesn't just target one area or one part of the self, but it is to align the body, to align the mind, to align the soul. And really the word yoga, it means union. And so this is what we're doing in yoga therapy is creating this union of all this gathering of all the parts of ourself. I teach yoga therapy because, so for many, many reasons, my intro to yoga was doing a more physical yoga practice, and it just stopped feeling good on my body. I have a lot of pain myself. I have scoliosis. I have a hip injury, and that injury affects my knee. Because of my scoliosis, my spine hurts a lot. I have a lot of tension in my upper back and my neck. And a lot of times when we are the modern entry point to a yoga class is like almost like an exercise class where it's just really focused on postures. And so over the past really decade, I've shifted my practice and my teaching to help people that are living in pain. I've transformed my own practice first because that more physical practice wasn't working for me. It wasn't feeling good. And so I started doing yoga therapy and learning more about alignment and anatomy. But also really yoga therapy goes so much deeper than alignment and anatomy because we're working on all parts of the self to come to an acceptance of the pain that we live with. And so yoga therapy can also be called a biopsychosocial approach to dealing with pain. So what is that? What does that mean? That's a big word, biopsychosocial. It means that it's more than just the physical pain. The approach through yoga therapy addresses more than the physical pain that we're experiencing in our body, or more than the emotional pain. It does address the physiology and the biology. It also addresses our psychology, who we are as a person, our emotions and our feelings, and our relationships, not only our relationship to others, but yoga therapy really addresses our relationship to ourself, and how being in pain really prevents us from living our life with fullness and with joy and with purpose. And so let me explain a little bit more to you about this biopsychosocial model by telling you about a client that I've worked with over the past years. Her name is Jenna, and she's had several diagnosed injuries, such as herniated disc. She has stenosis in her spine. She has a torn labrum, which is connective tissue in both hips and both shoulders. She has migraines. She has Hashimoto's disease, which is a form of, it's a type of autoimmune disease. She has body aches. I think I mentioned fibromyalgia, but if I didn't, she has fibromyalgia as well. And so in addition to these physical sensations that she's lived with over the years, she has undiagnosed pain as well, things that have been going on with her for years and years and years that she calls the phantom illnesses, because no doctor, no MRI, no specialist can ever pinpoint exactly where the pain is coming from. She's also depressed. And she's been repeatedly prescribed painkillers because of all the physical pain. And she at times has taken the painkillers a little too liberally. So that's been something that we've addressed. Because of all the pain that she's lived with, she had to quit her job. She wasn't able to ride horses anymore, which is one of her biggest passions in life. And she couldn't drive her daughter to and from school because she was always on painkillers. She and her husband also separated. So life had gotten pretty horrendous, pretty scary and pretty sad. And the pain was affecting her socially, and it was affecting her psychologically as well. And so within our yoga sessions together, we addressed every single one of these issues and emotions through yoga therapy. So we're not just addressing the physical pain. We set goals together, and we worked together to create awareness in her body, awareness of the sensations that she was feeling, awareness of the emotions that were coming up for her with the pain. And then we used that awareness to make space for her in her body, to make space for her in her mind and in her breath, to begin to shed away these layers and layers of suffering, of fear, and in pain. And so when, as you guys all know, because you're here today, when we live in pain, we are suffering. And this is the foundation of the yoga practice. Yoga, the reason that yoga exists is because thousands of years ago, yogis knew that humans suffer, that we experience pain, whether it's physical or emotional. And so yoga works to dissolve all these layers of pain. And so there were days that Jenna, she would walk into my studio in tears, and her body was just held in so much tension. And there were many, many times where she would walk out feeling a lot better. And there were even a lot of times where she would leave after our 1 hour session together, even smiling or laughing, and say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go, after my daughter comes home from school today, I'm going to see if I can go take a walk with her. And just these little things, like even if it's just a 5-minute walk with her daughter, brought her back to her purpose and her joy in life. So that is really what the yoga therapy, how the yoga therapy practice works. And I know that you guys are here to do yoga therapy, so let's do it. I just want to give you a taste of what this practice is, and to let you know that everything I'm teaching here today is part of an upcoming course that I'm launching, a yoga therapy for chronic pain course that I'm really excited about. I've been wanting to bring this out into the universe to help people with pain for a very long time. And I will tell you more about that course at the end of our practice today. And for those of you who stay on until the end of the practice to hear about that course, I'm even going to offer a special bonus. For now, let's go ahead and lie down and just get yourself comfortable. So I was mentioning before, if you're comfortable on the ground, you can be on a blanket, you can be on a yoga mat. If you don't have either, you can be on a couch or a bed. If your couch is narrow, maybe be on your bed so you don't risk falling off. We don't want to create more pain. And you can have a couple of pillows nearby. And then just go ahead And lie down on your back. And you can place your pillows underneath your legs. So if you have low back pain, some of you I know do, low back or midsection or hip pain or leg pain, you might be a little more comfortable with your pillows underneath the backs of your legs. And for most of this, I'll be either lying down with you or sitting up. But this is what you should look like right now. Just come to this. I'm just giving you a moment to settle into this posture. And just begin to bring your awareness to your breath so that you're conscious of every inhale, of every exhale. And not only are you aware that you are breathing, but I invite you to see if you can feel the breath, to notice what it feels like as it enters your body. What is the breath? What is the temperature of the breath? If you could see your breath, what would it look like? Would there be a color or a texture to the breath? And is the texture of the breath, is it gentle? Is it soft? Is it hard? Is it rough? Just notice, and there's no right answer and there's no wrong answer. And so by being aware of the breath, we're just beginning to bring our attention out of the mind, just to something different, and to allow the body to soften with the breath. And so as you continue to be aware of your inhale, notice not just the breath as it comes into the nose, but notice every part of your breath. The beginning, the middle, and the end of the inhale, and the beginning, the middle, and the end also of the exhale. And notice also which part of the breath is longer. Is the inhale longer? Or is the exhale longer? And now just bring your hands into a fist. So a tight fist of the hands. Scrunch up the toes on the feet, even the muscles on the face. Tense and tighten up every single muscle. Take a breath in and then exhaling through the mouth with a big sigh. And let go of all that tension. And just notice how the body can begin in these little ways to shed the layers of tension. Smoothing out, dissolving tension that is physical or that is emotional. And now go ahead and bend your knees, and we're going to place the feet on the floor. So you can move your pillow out to the side. And we're just going to rock the knees side to side. And you can right now just place your hands on the belly. Rock your legs gently to the right, not too far to the right, and then back up and over to the left. So just a little bit. And continue to be aware of your breath. And especially right now, be aware of the exhale. Let's see if we can make the exhale a little bit longer. And so in order to do that, we're going to inhale through the nose, but exhale through the mouth, like you're blowing through a straw softly. And now open your arms out to the sides, if this is comfortable for you. And we're going to even more slowly take the legs over to the right. So it's going to take like a count of 3. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3. Legs move to the right. Keep them right there. And then now you're going to take your gaze to the left. Your whole head will turn 1, 2, 3 to the left. Take a long breath in. Keep your legs and your head where they are. And a long exhale through your mouth. Inhale, bring the knees back up, the head back up. And now we're going to move to the other side. 1, 2, 3. Legs move towards the left. 1, 2, 3. Taking your head and your gaze to the right. You can keep your eyes closed if that's comfortable. Inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Inhaling, bring head and legs back to center. We're going to do that again to each side. 1, 2, 3. Legs move to the right. 1, 2, 3. Head moves to the left. Take a long breath in. Fill the body with your breath. Exhaling fully, completely through the mouth. Bring head, legs back to center. Take a soft inhale. Exhaling 1, 2, 3. Legs move to the left. And head moves to the right. 1, 2, 3. Inhaling. Exhaling through the mouth fully. Completely. And bring the head back to center and the knees back to center. And we're just going to slide the right foot now towards straight. So towards the end of the yoga mat or towards the foot of your bed or your couch. And as you slide the right leg straight, let's just flex the foot. So pull the toes back gently towards you. So you're not creating tension here. But we're just gently stretching the back of the leg. And then let the toes relax. And imagine the breath moving along the whole front of the body. Then the toes up to the head. And as you exhale, the breath moving back down from head back to toes. Imagine that you could see the breath moving, streaming through the body, creating space. And now slide the right leg in, place the foot on the floor, and then just slide the left leg forward. Reach the heel gently forward, pull the toes back so the toes are moving towards your face. So you're getting a stretch in the shin, the calf. And if it's comfortable for you, I always love to practice with my eyes closed. Because this allows us to enter into a deeper state of relaxation. We're keeping the mind alert as the body begins to relax. And then slide the left leg back in. And now we're going to bring the right knee into the chest and just hold the hands over the knee. And if this is too much for you, just keep the foot back on the floor, okay? You can also try taking the hands behind the thigh so the leg isn't so pulling the leg so close to the belly. So you're getting a little more space between the belly and the thigh. And then from here, we're going to slowly slide the left foot forward. Inhale, long inhale. And then a long exhale as you drag the left foot back in. Place the right ankle on the left knee. Open the arms to the side, and we're just going to let the right knee come out towards the floor or the bed, and then lift it back up. So that can be a confusing little sequence. We'll do it again on the right leg. So we'll bring the hands around the knee towards chest, slide the left foot forward. Inhale, take the left foot back in, foot on the floor or the bed. Right ankle stacks on the left knee, arms to the side. Opening the right knee out to the right. So we're bringing the spine and the torso into a gentle twist. We're not going for big, we're not going for deep. Then move the leg back in so hips are steady on the ground. One more time, we'll bring the knee to the chest. Slide the left leg forward. Continue to feel the breath moving through the body. Slide the left leg back in. Right ankle to left knee. Open the arms wide. And then we're going to rock the hips over to the right. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, come back to center, lifting the right leg back up. Knee to chest, and just place the right foot to the floor. Stretch the right leg all the way out onto the ground. Stretch the left leg all the way out onto the ground. Bring your hands onto the belly. Pause here. And just notice any sensations, whether physical, psychological, emotional. Notice also what your energy level is like right now. Does it feel mellow or big? And so yoga looks at our level of energy as well as the body. Yoga doesn't just see the physical body. Now we'll slide the right foot back in. And as you take the left leg in as well, we're going to bring the left knee to the chest. You can hold your hands over the knee, behind the thigh, giving the leg a little more space, whatever feels best for your body, or keeping the left foot on the floor. Slide the right leg all the way out, extending the right leg. Take a long inhale. A long exhale, very long exhales. You slide the right leg back in, foot to the floor. And now we'll cross the left ankle, stack it on the right knee, arms open out to the sides. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, the left knee rocks over to the left, towards the floor, towards the bed, but doesn't have to go all the way. My leg is not going all the way, just about halfway. And then inhale and come back up to center. Bring the knee to the chest, and then slide the right leg forward again. Feeling the space all on the right side of the body. Slide that right leg back in. Stack left ankle on right knee, open arms out to the side, rocking hips to the left. Inhaling back to center. Long exhale right here, allowing layers upon layers of tension to dissolve. Bring the knee to the chest. Once again, left knee to the chest. Slide right foot forward. Right foot extends forward. Noticing the space in the thigh, in front of the hip, and the torso. Slide the right leg back in. Place left foot to the right knee. Open the arms wide and rock the legs over to the left and back up. Release the left foot. Feel both feet on the floor. Both feet on the floor. Feel the back of your hips on the ground. Feel the shoulders, the back of your head, the parts of your spine that are touching the ground or your bed. And whatever surface you are on, whether you're on a bed or the couch or the floor, notice the surface and visualize it as the earth beneath you. And allow yourself to just then soften into that idea that you're becoming grounded with the earth below you. And now we're going to bring in a little bit of muscle tension, just a little bit. So we're going to work on the pelvic floor muscles. So these are the muscles both men and women have that are within the hips. The hips make the shape of a bowl. And so what I'd like you to do, just to start to feel the pelvic floor muscles, is to give a squeeze to the center of the pelvis. If you're not sure how to even do that, imagine that you have to go to the bathroom and you're trying not to pee your pants. So it's just a little bit of, or a big squeeze, and then release, and just let that squeeze go, let go of all muscle effort. And then squeeze again, and release. And then one more time, squeeze again. And as you're holding that squeeze of the pelvis, slide the right leg forward. Slide the left foot forward. See if you can keep squeezing the pelvis, and then stretch the arms above the head. Take a long breath in. Keep squeezing the pelvis. And now as you exhale, release everything. Every muscle, every tissue, and let your arms float back down by your sides. Now we're going to bend the knees. So sliding the legs back in, and we'll do that one more time. So squeeze center of the pelvis. And then slide the right foot forward. Keep squeezing. Keep squeezing the left foot forward. Slide the left foot forward. Keep squeezing. Reach the arms over the head. You're going to feel all the muscles in your belly working now as you reach your arms over your head. Keep squeezing. Take a long breath in. And then at the very top of the breath, after you've taken in all the inhale you can, hold the breath and keep squeezing. And now exhale, release, let the arms float back by your sides. Let go of any muscle tension. Let your toes just turn out to the sides. And let the body become soft. And now we're going to slide the legs back in, feet on the floor, and roll over all the way onto your hands and your knees. And so coming onto your hands and your knees, if you have neck pain or shoulder pain, you're welcome to come down onto your forearms. And if you're okay on your hands, then you can just stay like this with hands and knees. We're just going to feel the breath a little bit and think of moving the breath as we move the spine. So the next inhale, we're going to reach the heart forward. Think of the shoulders widening, and then the low back kind of sways a little bit so the tailbone sticks out behind you. Continue to fill in, breathe in that inhale, And then a long exhale, and you're gonna let the head drop down and the spine round very gently. And if rounding the back doesn't feel good, then you can stay more neutral. So you're not doing too much rounding or too much swaying. And then we'll come back to that first position as you inhale, stretching forward through the spine. So we're not going for 100% of effort here. We're just going for gentle and soft in the movement and allowing the movement to be more of the breath moving through you. Now, as you exhale, the spine rounds. And so consider the idea of merging the breath or marrying the breath to the movement. Inhaling, lengthen the spine. And then exhaling as you round. The movement can be very, very small and gentle. And the next time we bring the spine forward, just notice how this feels physically for you. And as you come into the movement, if there's any sensation that's even a little bit less than good, if there's anything that's feeling a little bit tight, a little bit stuck, or even not good here, just notice any emotions or any thoughts that arise for you with this physical feeling. And can you soften around that thought? Softening around that thought. And now we're going to round the spine once again, very gently. Doesn't have to be big. And notice with this posture, with this shape, how does it feel physically? Is it good? Is it so-so, or is it just not good for your body? And if it's really not good, then you'll just come out of it a little bit, but noticing any emotions that arise for you again, that arise with that physical sensation. And then let out a long exhale and allow your whole body to soften. And now we're gonna reach the hips back towards the heels. They might not go all the way. So some of us who have hip issues going on, for me, I can't bring my hips all the way back to my heels. So I stay in kind of like a mid posture here. And then we're gonna shift the hips forward, just stretching out the front of the spine, front of the hips, and reaching the hips back. And as you're shifting forward and back, and remember you can be on your forearms here. So if at any moment your arms start getting tired or your neck gets tired, come onto the forearms. And as you are moving through these postures, bring your awareness to the belly, to the abdomen. In yoga, we see not just the physical body, but we notice and we see that there's an energy layer to every individual. And so this is called our energetic blueprint or our energetic signature. And in yoga therapy, this is one of the things, this is one of the biggest ways in which I work with my clients is shifting their energy to give them more energy and more vitality. And this space in the navel, just above the navel, this is called the solar plexus. And just as the name solar implies sun and warmth, as you sway back and forth in the movement here, visualize within the space of the belly the warmth of your own personal golden sun. And then the next time you begin to shift forward, you can start to reach your legs behind you, and you're going to come all the way onto your belly and stack your hands resting the forehead on the back of the hands. And just allow the hips to rock a little bit side to side. And imagine as the hips are rocking in this way, imagine that your breath is directed right to that solar plexus region, to the center of the belly. And the exhale comes from that place as well. Inhaling again into the belly. Steady the hips now, and a long exhale through the mouth. And even though you're breathing in and out of the nose or the mouth, imagine that you could see the breath moving in and out of the belly. Even notice if you can feel it in the belly. And as you're resting here, this is one of my favorite postures for people who have neck pain and back pain, because what we're doing is with the hands supporting the head resting on the back of the hands, we're bringing the head in alignment with the upper back, and the upper back in alignment above the hips. So if we were standing up here or even sitting down with the torso in this shape, we'd be in perfect posture. And when the body comes into posture, good habits, the body begins to remember what it's like to feel good and to let go of tension. And we'll just take a few more breaths here. And if this pose is giving you any pain in your low back, then you can take one of your pillows and just slide it underneath your hips or your belly and see if that takes some of the pressure off. So remember that every pose should be comfortable. In some yoga classes, we go for a deep stretch or a lot of strengthening. And that is just not the case with yoga therapy. With yoga therapy, we want to bring the body into postures that are restful and to stay there long enough that the brain begins to remember what it's like to relax. And so then the brain sends messages to the body to just simply let go. And now we're going to slowly come out of this posture so we're going to come onto the back now. So if you have a pillow, if you don't have a pillow, you can just turn right over onto your back. If you do have a pillow under your belly, you're going to want to move it so you can roll over, and then you'll place your big pillow underneath the backs of your knees and lie all the way back into this final resting posture called Shavasana. And I had showed you earlier that I have these yoga bolsters. And if you have firm pillows, if you have a couple of pillows, the higher that you can get your legs here, the more the muscles in the belly and around the hips can relax. So this isn't necessary to have the legs as high up as mine are, but if you have enough pillows right by your side, you can take them a little higher. And as you are resting here on your back, we're going to use the breath as well as the pelvic floor muscles. So we're not quite in that total relaxation, but we'll get there in just a couple of moments. I'm taking some smooth, full, long breaths in. I like the breath to be long, but not deep, because a deep breath usually implies a strong breath. And we're not going for strength. We're going for softening. And so now bring your attention back to the pelvic floor muscles and squeeze once again. Squeeze right there at the center of the pelvis and take a long inhale all the way down, all the way into that place at the center of the pelvis. And then you're going to hold the breath for just a moment and exhale fully, but keep squeezing. So we're going to keep squeezing for a while. It doesn't have to be 100% of your muscle effort, but maybe 60 or 70%. And as you're squeezing, the next breath in, we're going to bring to the low belly, to the space just between the hips. Feel the breath come into that place. Hold the breath for just a moment. And then as you exhale, keep squeezing. Keep squeezing. It requires a little strength and a little concentration. And then keep squeezing. You're inhaling now into that space at the upper abdomen, the solar plexus. The core quality here is determination, willpower, radiance. Soft, long exhale. Keep squeezing. And the next breath will come to the space of the heart. And so the purpose of the squeezing is it's like a way of trapping energy in our physical body. Hold the breath for a moment. And then keep squeezing as you release all the breath out. Try not to let go of those muscles. Next, inhale into the throat. Breathing. Imagine your breath just coming to the place of the throat. Squeeze, hold the breath for a moment, and release all the breath out. Inhaling up to the center of the forehead, guiding the breath to the center of the forehead. Keep squeezing, hold the breath. And now exhale fully. The next breath comes to the very top of the head, the crown of the head. Hold the breath, just pause the breath. And now as you exhale, let go of that squeeze of the center of the pelvis, but continue to feel the lightness of the breath as it's streaming through all of those locations in the body, from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. Notice the breath as effortless, as light. The breath like a river streaming, allowing the whole body to soften. And as the body is resting, layer by layer by layer, bring your attention and your awareness to that space of the upper abdomen. And imagine within this space a golden light. That light that is your source of motivation that feeds your desires for yourself, your intentions. And visualize that light radiating to all areas of the body. That light is smooth like the breath. And imagine that you can see it now, that see that yellow golden light. And that you can feel it as well. Just imagine and visualize. If you really could feel this light energy in you, what would that sensation be? And just stating to yourself one word or two words that describe the feeling of this light. And allow yourself to soften, breath by breath. And then slowly begin to bring your awareness to the floor or the bed beneath you. And just allow yourself to become aware of your senses, to become aware of the breath. And maybe make a little bit of movement in the fingers. Just slow and gentle movement in the fingers. And roll over slowly and gently, rolling over to your right side. And I invite you now to come back to a seated position that is comfortable for you, on some pillows or on a chair if that's good for your body. And as you come back up, just keeping your eyes closed for another moment or two. And just notice the body physically and the state that the body is in. Notice what feels good and right. We When we live in pain, we so often focus on what's not right. So for just this moment, just notice some part of you that feels good right now. Maybe that's the breath. Maybe it's the space of the heart. Maybe it's the muscles and the bones and the tissues of your physical body. And just noticing. And then we're going to bring the hands together and just start rubbing the hands together, making a little bit of heat to the hands. And then place the palms over your eyes still closed. And you can even feel that energy, that heat of the hands. And slowly open your eyes, very slowly, as you release your hands down by your sides. Just become aware of your senses. Be aware of the taste in your mouth. Be aware of the feeling of anything touching your skin, whether it's the clothes you're wearing or the floor underneath you. Be aware of any sounds or scents. Noticing the 5 senses. And please open your eyes as you're ready. And I hope you guys are feeling great from that practice. For those of you who enjoyed this practice and that you think that you could benefit from working in this way, longer, going deeper with more hands-on help, I want to take a few minutes to tell you a little bit more about this upcoming course that I have that I'm really excited to share with you. I mentioned earlier, I've been wanting to do this for such a long time. So many of us live in pain and we have sought out help and we just have not found the help that we need. And this program to me is so exciting. I'm going to just share my screen so you can see a little bit more about this practice. Okay. That's not right. Okay, little technical difficulty here. Just give me one moment, please. I'm always still getting the hang of this stuff, all this tech stuff. Here we go. Okay, so my yoga therapy for chronic pain course. As I mentioned to you guys earlier, a little bit about what yoga therapy is, this biopsychosocial model, that it's not just a quick fix approach, it's not a Band-Aid approach, it's not physical therapy, but we're working on the body, on the mind, on the emotions. And in this course, I'm offering 6 weeks of experiential practices, much like what we did today, that work on all these levels of the self. And remember that yoga doesn't just see the physical pain or the sensation of the pain, but we're working on penetrating through that pain. So the idea of these practices in the 6 weeks is to help you understand your pain, to get to know it in a different way, that you can manage it on your own. After these 6 weeks, everything, so this is a live course. It will be every week with me, about a 75 to 90-minute practice of what we just similar, using all these different yoga tools that I have. And then all of those practices will become recorded for lifetime access for you. So you get to use this whenever you want. You'll also have access to a Facebook support group for pain. And this support group will be only people that are in our program. So you get to know your peers and you can share this journey and it's like having an accountability partner too, someone to check in with and say, hey, did you do your practice today? Or how are you feeling? Somebody that really understands what you're going through. And I will be a part of that group as well, constantly checking and answering questions to be on there as well. With every practice I give a clear explanation of why I'm offering it and how it helps healing. So the yoga, if you're not familiar with yoga, a lot of us know yoga as downward dog or the warrior poses, and yoga therapy is very different. It uses a lot of the ancient traditional practices, such as using a little bit of chanting sounds and just noticing how those sounds feel in the body, and or different kinds of breath exercises or visualizations. And so I'll always tell you why we're doing the practices, what we're doing, and how they're different and how they're beneficial. So in these 6 weeks of live sessions, we're going to have module 1, where we're going to recognize the pain and the difference between what is pain and what is sensation. We're going to learn emotions that we associate with our pain, or different emotions that arise with a physical sensation. And we're going to learn self-soothing techniques that you can then practice even that evening or the next day, that like immediate tools that you'll have to help release and dissolve the emotions that come up for you when the pain is strong. In the second week together, I love teaching different breath exercises. In yoga, this is called pranayama. And so we're working a lot with different breath awareness techniques, and we'll practice a form of movement like we did earlier today called somatics. It's just becoming aware of the way the body moves, gentle movements that are suitable for every person, no matter the ability of your pain, of your body, the type of pain, the amount of pain. And these somatic and gentle movements are aimed and designed to release physical tension. In our third week together, we're going to talk a lot about the relationship of pain and stress, and why it's so important to bring ourselves into a state of relaxation, not just physical relaxation, but we want to do poses. I want to bring in poses and techniques that will be restoring not just to the body, to physical pain or tension into the body, but to the nervous system. So when the body is in pain, our stress levels rise. And this is all, by the way, everything I teach is backed up by science. So there's science-based evidence that when our body is in pain, our stress levels go high. And when we are able to let go of the stress and to dissolve that stress by different relaxing postures or breathing techniques, the body will then come into a more soothed state as well. Our fourth week together, we'll be doing more breathing exercises that support balancing the mind. This is one of my favorite practices, yoga nidra, which is a meditative journey. And we'll be practicing more restful poses as well. Yoga nidra, it translates to the sleep of yoga. And it's a guided journey through the body, through visualizations. And it's just such a beautiful practice actually, it's equivalent. It brings the body into such a rested state that research shows yoga nidra, about 15 to 20 minutes of yoga nidra is equivalent to about 4 hours of sleep. And so many of us also that are living in pain, we know that our sleep is disrupted as well, and that we're not as well rested as we used to be. So that is why yoga nidra is so important. We'll also be learning different movements to free up the joint and to release what's called synovial fluid, which is our body's own natural form of lubrication. We're going to learn safe and proper stretching techniques, how to stretch your body safely. Sometimes when we stretch too deep, we're left with more pain. And we're going to be working on physical poses throughout this module 5 practice that really work on creating more space, more length in the body, but also in the mind. And then in module 6, this will be one of my favorites. We're going to learn healing sounds. I mentioned a few moments ago, chanting, and why it's so beneficial to the body. We'll learn healing gestures called mudra. I use these all the time in my classes, and I love using mudras. And then we're going to put together all of these tools that we've learned and really experience the magic of yoga therapy. So let's talk about some bonuses. So I've put in a lot of packed this great offer with lots of bonuses for you guys. And I mentioned special bonuses for those of you who are staying on to the end and who decide to sign up for this today. So the first bonus is that I had mentioned we're doing 6 live sessions, and I'm making that 8 sessions because I want to give you more time to learn and to feel these practices and the postures in your body and the way it relaxes the mind and the body. More time with me to have your questions answered. At the end of every session, we'll have lots of time for questions and answers so that you have the support that you need. You'll have a library of all of our practices together. So everything that we've done that is live will be recorded, that you'll have forever to keep. There will be no expiration date on that library of practices. You'll also get twice weekly little short video sequences to just keep you on track, to keep you bringing these little practices into your daily life. And again, this is that high amount of support, because I know that a 75-minute practice that we do once together, it's not really feasible to do 75 minutes of yoga therapy every single day. So I'm going to give you every week a few different quick fix. I call them yoga sequences that you can infuse into your daily life with just a short amount of time to really come into those, drop quickly into those benefits of yoga therapy. The other thing that I didn't mention on here is that I'll be giving you through the Facebook support group, you'll be having journaling prompts and different journaling prompts to talk about your wellness, to write about your wellness. These are things that you can share with the group on the Facebook group if you want to, but you can also keep it to yourself. Just a way to go deeper into the process of healing through journaling. And then this is the special offer that I'm most excited about. For those of you who sign up within the next 24 hours, I'm offering a private session with me so that we can talk more about what you're going through, and so that I can really infuse practices that would be beneficial for you into every single live session that we all do together. And so remember that this offer expires tomorrow night. And so I would really encourage you to sign up for this course today. So let's talk about the investment of this. So I am offering this for a one-time price of $897, or we can also break it up into 3 monthly payments of $329. And more important than the investment itself, I just want to go over the return on the investment. Remember, this is an investment in your health and in your well-being. It's not a band-aid approach. And the return is that you're going to be able to take your healing into your own hands, to stop obsessing over the pain, but to learn how to do something about it when the pain level rises. We're going to create a different mindset about the pain, learning how to not just to become aware of the pain, but acceptance of our pain, so that we're not constantly combating the pain. And this is found in these self-soothing techniques. So you can do these techniques anywhere, any place. A lot of them, people won't even know if you're in a room at a dinner table with other people. They won't even know if you just close your eyes for a moment. They won't even know that you're doing yoga therapy. You're going to be learning how pain and tension are held in the body, how to increase your energy, and to develop in your life a sense of lightness that brings you more purpose, that brings you more joy, not just in the physical body, but to all levels of your being, and how to live your life vibrantly. And one of the big parts of one of the biggest practices of yoga is to set a daily intention. And I just want to share with you that almost always my intention personally for myself is to be able to live my life vibrantly. And so just take a moment, close your eyes for a minute, and just think about the impact of achieving these things will have on you. What impact will taking healings into your own hands have, not just on you, but what would be the impact on your friends, on your family, your career, to be able to live vibrantly and joy with energy? What would be the impact on your creativity? And what impact will it have on your ability to have a positive impact in the world? And even though this is an 8-week course, it doesn't end there. It doesn't end at those 8 weeks, because I've designed this course to be something that you can move forward with. I want to set you up so that you have the tools, everything you need to implement these practices into your daily life so that it's sustainable. Like I said, we're not going to do a 75-minute, 90-minute yoga practice every day for the rest of your life, but little bits of this practice that can be so helpful time and time again, every single day. So let's go back to my client, Jenna, that I had mentioned earlier, and that this is that yoga therapy is this sustainable approach, this biopsychosocial model. So with Jenna and with my other clients that I work with, and like you could see today in the practice that we did, we're not focusing solely on yoga poses, because that only works on the physical body. But I worked with Jenna to get her off of the opioids. And that was her, really. That was just bringing awareness, soothing techniques, to trust her mind, to trust her body, to get reacquainted with her soul. And all the work that we did together gave her the strength and the clarity to work on her relationship with her husband, which is now back together. They're back together. She really began to feel like the mother that her daughter needed. And she was even able to ride her horse again. And when she told me that, I cried. So we're going to have some time for questions. But before we come into those questions, I want you to close your eyes for a moment. And just place your hands just like this. We're going to place the hands in a triangular shape over the abdomen. You can close your eyes. Come back to that core quality of the abdomen, the quality of light, of determination, of willpower. This is your body's own personal sun center, your place of strength. And visualize once again this light giving you energy. This light radiating through every bone, through every muscle, through every organ, through every cell. And to breathe this light energy in. And to keep it, to hold it as you breathe out. And go ahead and release your hands back down to a comfortable position. And you can open your eyes. And I would like to open up for questions. I have a couple actually right here in front of me. Yeah, time and date, start dates, yes. So the sessions will start November 11th. And they will run through December 16th. That is 6 weeks. And I mentioned that we'll be doing 8 weeks. And so what I thought we'd do, and I'm totally open, but I thought we'd have the first 2 weeks with 2 sessions per week, and then moving into 1 session per week to maintain that 6-week time frame. I'm open to doing 8 weeks if there's interest in that, but we just end up running into the holidays at that point. Let's see. I was just trying to get back to this chat. When do the, okay. And so yes, the sessions would also be held on Wednesdays at noon Pacific time. And again, that is a time that I chose, but I have other times available. So we could also, for those of you who do want to go ahead and sign up, we could also do a little poll and find the best date and time. One of the questions I have here, yes, is that I've been doing yoga for years. Will this be too basic for me? No, because it's not about advancing in yoga postures. It's about doing advanced practices of yoga, like breath work and meditations that are suitable for all level types that really work on healing. Yes, and the link to get more information is just going to be popped into the screen in a moment, into the chat. Thank you. Okay, great. Another question coming in is, yes, that I don't have a lot of mobility and sometimes am in a wheelchair. Will this be okay for me? Absolutely, because just like you saw here today, this can be done from the bed. It can be done on the floor if you're comfortable getting up and down off of the floor. And so again, the idea of the practice is to make it suitable for any kind of pain that you're going through. So for bodies of all abilities. And the link for more information and to sign up to register for this course is in the chat. I'm so excited to announce this. I've been wanting to bring this yoga therapy practice for such a long time. And I'm just seeing if there's any other questions if I missed anything. All right. any last questions that anyone has? If not, I just want to thank you guys so much for joining me together, joining together with each other, and for joining me today in this webinar to learn more about yoga therapy. And thank you for letting me share this exciting new course. And I really hope that we can we can work together in the future. One question is, could I sign up for 4 sessions? Unfortunately, no. The way I have designed this program is that 4 sessions, it's just not going to be enough. And even just to remember that, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 4 weeks, this is really a lifetime of work that I'm giving you these practices, and we'll visit them and we'll revisit them and we'll learn them and we'll relearn them and we'll keep doing them, and then you'll have this library. But it is a long-term practice. It works the same way that, like, if you have something physical and you're working on something physical with a physical therapist, most of us know that those prescribed 6 or 8 weeks of working with a physical therapist, you're not going to leave healed. And so I really want to give you enough time and enough space that this really becomes part of your lifestyle. And that is really one of the most exciting things to me about yoga therapy, is that it's a way of life. It's a change of life. It's a change of the body. It's a change of the breath. It's a change of the mind. Great. So thank you, everyone, so much. Looks like, is there another question? Oh, yeah. Okay. So this November 11th session won't work for you. Will I be doing this again? I will at some point. At this point, I don't have any more dates currently. So right now I'm focusing on November 11th, and I would love to support you in any way that I can in making that work for you now. Yeah. All right. Have a wonderful day, everyone. And I'll just stay on here for a few minutes. You're welcome to just sign off, but I'll stay on in case there are any last questions that you want to pop into the chat. And I hope you guys really enjoyed the practice today. Thank you, Jenny. Great to have you, Pat and Donna Lee. Thank you, Robert. Take care, Jamie. All right. Have a great day, everyone. And I'm also available if you have questions about the program, reach out to me by email, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. And I'll just pop my email into the chat. Yes, Anne. Yes, this will be recorded. Whoops. Yeah. So if you came on late, if you signed on late, you'll be getting a recording of this later today. Great. Great to have you all. Have a wonderful rest of your day.